Good morning, everybody. Happy Thursday. Today is Thursday, February 6th. And I am tired today. I had another late night last night. I had another meeting that went till like 12:30 in the morning. At least I wasn't up all night with my daughter like I was the night before. She's still homesick today. So I still have to help her out a little bit today. Anyhow, I'm in my second trade of the day already. I took the first on this lower high tick down as the delta was crossing under the confirmation line. I got 80 ticks out of that one for 2 contracts, and then when it ticked up from that lower power zone, I took the other 2 off. This other 2 was at 11 3/4. And then since we had this confirmation line cross right there, I was waiting for this tick down from that upper power zone. I didn't get in on the actual tick down because it was an up close candle, but it was right there at the VWAP. It looks like it tried to pass the VWAP a little bit there. And then we got that little hammer candle on the way back down. So then I entered right there. And that's where we're currently sitting. But if VWAP rejects us here, I'm thinking that we're going to end up taking out the London low. So that's where I have my take profit. I'm going to try to stretch this one out a little bit. Instead of going for my normal 80 ticks. And so there's 80 right there. 125 would take out this low. But I really think London low might get taken. Maybe. We'll see. The 3-minute is currently bullish. The 5-minute is currently bullish, so it does go against those higher time frames. The 15 is actually bearish. I should go flip that. It's still taking its sweet old time, though, getting down there, so maybe it's not going to happen. I do have my stop at break even here. And I just got partially filled. All right, so that's a break even. So never mind all that talk. All right, let's check out the news today. We got the IVPMI at 9. That's for Canada. We had unemployment at 7:30. That didn't really do much. That's it. Tomorrow we have non-farm payroll and unemployment at 7:30. So that one will move the market a little bit. Here's earnings for today. That's something we should probably start taking a look at. I'm really bad at that, but I should do a better job of checking this out. So it looks like after the close today, we have Amazon, Pinterest, the Cloudflare's on there. I don't know how big those will be. I don't recognize any of these names tomorrow. So, might be a nothing burger. I don't know. We'll see. Good morning, Schroden. Your goal today is to take fewer trades? Yeah. That's a pretty good goal to have. I should probably do the same. Okay. If we want to trade in line with the 3 and the 5, we should be looking for longs. However, the 1 is still fairly bearish right here. As long as we stay under that VWAP, we might stay bearish. We're starting to chop those EMAs a little bit too. Yeah? Okay. I'll be right back. Okay. We have a puker, guys. The joys of being a parent. Our youngest, when she gets even just a little bit sick, she pukes a lot. I don't know what it is about her. Sometimes I've seen her puke like 6, 7, 8 times in a row, like over the course of one night. Crazy. Anyhow, she says she's feeling better now after getting that out. All right. We have the 825 candle. We got the market open in 5 minutes. We'll see if we can get above this VWAP. Good morning, K. John. You know, the ATR is pretty darn low today so far. It's only 25. Hopefully the market will kick things into gear. I mean the open. I'm still kind of sleeping here, guys. But I have my coffee and I am ready to go. Well, just by judging from the higher time frames, man, I cannot talk today. I would assume that we are going to start heading up here. We have a nice positive slope on the confirmation line and the delta on the 3. On the 3, this was a long right here. And on the 5-minute, we are starting to turn up on the confirmation line, just starting. That may or may not last. And again, on the 15, we are bearish though. So we were in a decent uptrend. And then we crossed down right here. So at that point, I become bearish on the 15. Excuse me. Still having a little trouble getting over that VWAP. So still need to pay attention here. We could still reject off of that. The market open in 50 seconds. Okay, so we're at, looks like we're going to open at VWAP. Normally we just chop around when that happens. Then at the same time, we have the delta and the signal in the upper power zone. We usually drop right out of the gate when that's the case. So this tick down from the upper power zone could be the short entry right there. Yeah, I've put a limit order right above this wick and it just barely missed me. See that? It didn't fill me. It looks like it would have in TradingView, but I didn't get it. That would have been a good winner, man. I hate when that happens. Yeah, I guess I'll cancel that order. One more tick, and I totally would have had that. That's what happens when you try to get a discount. Sometimes you miss the trade. I could have just taken the tick down here. JWaz, you said you took that? The power zone tick down? Well, we took out this low. That would have been 38 points. But London low was my original target. Let's see if we get that. Yep, that's a fat delta coming down. So do you guys see why I put my order there, though? Number one, we were at VWAP. The one was bearish. We ticked down from that upper power zone. So we were opening with the signal and the delta in the upper power zone. And typically that means the first move doesn't mean it's going to be sustained, but the first move out of the gate is usually in the opposite direction. That's why I put my order there. See if we get any follow through with it. I kind of have my doubts just because the 3-minute is still pretty bullish. But if you targeted this swing low, that was probably the sweet spot. Okay, John, the NQ on the 4-hour chart has a very identifiable wedge pattern in play. On the 4-hour chart, huh? Here's the hourly. We do have an order block sitting here on the 4-hour. I could see us coming all the way back down here. Potentially. We're right up against it. We wicked to it right here. Good morning, Raphael. I'll be right back, guys. Okay. Looks like we got a little chop in there. Normally when we open at the VWAP, it normally chops for a while. So we'll see if it can work out some of that chop. Just kind of barcoding there. Probably not a bad idea to mark out the 15-minute range here. There's the 8:30 candle. 44. There it is. Schroden, I like having the ICT imbalances indicator by VHX, which is open source. I turn off fair value gaps, but it highlights the candle gaps. If they coincide with other structure or volume nodes, they can be good. The ICT imbalances indicator, huh? Hey, there's a big candle. It's actually our last candle, the 15-minute range, too. Interesting. All right, looks like we're moving up. Just hit previous day high. JWAS caught that long. That's a nice long right there. Our ATR's coming back up. Did you take the tick up above the delta? Ah, the 15-second chart. Let's see what's going on there. We did have a nice little trend line break right here. Green zone tick up right on the break. Yeah, that's a nice one. Delta's nice and strong now. Yeah, that makes sense if we're chopping to drop to a lower time frame like that. You know, even those wick entries that I've been doing lately, Looks like they still work on lower time frames, like this low wick right here. Could have snagged a long right there. Yeah, the 5 second sounds rough for the signal line. Maybe a little too fast. Schroden, check out the one at 21,777. That would have been a good spot for a limit short scalp. 21,777. Are you talking about the wick entry on the 1 or on the 15 second we were looking at? Sorry, I'm a little behind on the chat. 777. Like this one here. I was just furthering the point about the volume imbalance entry. Okay. And what you're calling volume imbalance, I might call something else. You're talking about like this area right here? I usually mark those off as order blocks. In this case, it would be a 15-second order block. But it's the top of it. So you're probably seeing something different than I am. All right, we're back to retesting the top of the 15-minute range. When there's a gap between the candles, between the close of one and the start of the other. Oh, so like a fair value gap, you mean? The close of one. Oh, I see what you're saying. You're talking about the close of this and the start of this, right? Right there. Interesting. I never looked at that specific setup before. But I like the accuracy that I'm seeing right there. Sweet. All right, we got an ATR up to 61 now. Came back down, retested the 20. And the top of the 15-minute range. Are we going to bounce? Delta's still looking strong. Well, Delta is really strong, and we are ticking up here. This could be a potential long. Seeing how we're bouncing off previous day high and the 15-minute range. I might want to go ahead and give this one a shot. I don't like buying the big candles, but I'm going to go for it in this case. I went long right here. I normally don't do that, but 21,814. But you know, when the Delta's got momentum, sometimes you just gotta jump in head first. Only reason why I did that is because of the thickness in the Delta right here. Was that 9:45 Eastern candle news? I don't think I had any news on my screen. There might have been some news, but I don't have it on my list. Looks like it's trying to come down to fill that gap there. Looks like I would have been better off going with the 8. And of course, I pay the price on that one. That's why I don't like buying the big candles, guys. That's usually my result right there when I do that. That's a full stop on that one. I thought the thick Delta would help me out there, but it said nope. Would have been better off going long down here near the 20. We got this little order block here that it's wicking to nicely. So I might give that a shot down there. think I'm a little late now, but oh, I just got tagged in. $21,793.25. Got the 9 o'clock news coming in 1 minute, 30 seconds. Well, that one's not working out for me either. All right, I pulled the plug on that one. Lost 11 points on that one. It's 411 points, so minus 44. This moves to 4 minus 44. You know, I think the problem with this 15-minute range box is we had this breakout right at the last minute. So I think the actual range is more like down here, because that's where we had the consolidation. So this candle here is probably the actual retest. I guess this one actually did come down and touch it though. Hey Jason, good morning. Well, the news should be in now. Well, that move sure piddled out quickly, didn't it? Starting to lose VWAP here. Here's the 5-minute chart. It's like we wicked right into that 5-minute order block perfectly, which would explain why we rejected there. Wish I would have drawn that out ahead of time. It's kind of a choppy mess so far. Market is showing weakness though. Still not really seeing a clear direction either way. Maybe we'll get that 15-minute range bounce here. She's trying. On the 3-minute, we did get a tick up right at the midline there. It's barely in the green zone. And that corresponds to this tick up here on the 1. So if you're trying to trade the 3, your entry on the 1 would have been right here. TradingVIew is being really slow. So I'm going to shut it down and relaunch it. Sometimes that helps. They must have like a memory leak or something in the code. See, now I can move things around. Now it's fast. Well, that 1 minute green zone tick up looks like it was the one. Right here would have been the entry. That would have been a full winner there. It's hard to take those though when the delta's under the confirmation line. You know, it's all that choppy mess. It really plays with my brain. But as I was saying earlier, if you're trying to trade the higher time frame, like the 3, then it makes it easier to take those because you already got the tick up on the 3 at that. Well, maybe you didn't. Let's see. When was the close of this? 906? There's 906 here. Yeah. No, it wasn't ticking up at that point. Sorry, the 3 minute was ticking up at 906. That was confirmed. On the 1 at 906, there was not a tick up, but at 907, that's the first tick up that follows the tick up on the 3. So if you're trying to trade the 3 and using the 1 for your entries, that's it right there. I have not been doing that lately. Maybe I should start doing more of that. Trying to trade only in line with those higher time frames. I know yesterday that would have probably done me some favors if I did that. You know, you look at the chart yesterday. Let's go over to the 5 real quick. If you go back to yesterday, yeah, yesterday was one of those kind of just grindy uptrends, right? But if I look at where the 5 crossed the confirmation line right here to the upside and where it crossed to the downside, during this whole span, it's where, even though the delta was really thin for the most part, should have been looking for longs throughout that whole process. And if I go to the 1 minute and go back over to yesterday, where's my vertical lines? Where am I? All right, right here. So this started 4:30 a.m., so I was not up at that time. But then here's where New York started getting going at 7 a.m. And here's a power zone tick up that is in line with that. It's debatable. You could have maybe taken these from the green zone. Could have taken this one. This is kind of ugly in here. Probably would not take that with the delta drop in that way. But then after the delta starts coming back, here's a long there. Here's a power zone. If you're only taking power zones, then you're going to get these. That's a better entry than up here. And you would have had this whole series right there. And then it's more of kind of a grind down until we close below on the 5. But yeah, this whole stretch right here was probably the best stretch of the whole day. Most of all the other stuff was all grindy, so if you missed that, it still might have been kind of difficult on the 1. Might have been easier on the 2. Let's look at the 2. What did I just do here? All right, this is the 2. There's a power zone tick up. That one's really nice on the 2. Then you do catch that whole move. Could have got these here. Right in that area. Anyway, so yeah, yesterday that would have helped. Let me go back to current. You know, and then looking back on the one here in hindsight, it's always easier looking at it in hindsight, isn't it? But this whole area right here, we came down, we got the top of the 15-minute range there, plus we have 2 VWAPs there. We got the anchored VWAP and the standard VWAP. Plus we have the tick up from, it's not quite the power zone, but it's really close. You add all that up together, I probably should have went long there. Lots of confluence in that spot. Getting a little bit of a pullback here. Demonstration? What is this? You guys see that red dot on my screen? Looks like TradingVIew has a new tool called Demonstration. It says it's new. Hold this key for temporary drawing. Oh. Oh, and then it goes away. See that? Interesting. So how do I change the color? Maybe you can't change the color. Goes away just like profits. It's funny. So here's our move. We were just in that trade, and there it goes. It goes away. You would think they would let you change the color, right? Am I just not seeing it? No way to click it in the settings tool? Here, let me add it to my toolbar. Add to favorites. So now it's here. Does that do anything? No. Weird. You can also use a dot. There's an arrow. I guess I'll use the demonstration one. See how that feels for today. All right, well, we are coming back down to VWAP. Was there a trade in there? Not really. I mean, we did have the tick up or tick down from the upper power zone right here. Oh man, this is weird now with that dot on the screen. So, I mean, if you took the power zone tick down, that definitely would have worked. J-Waz, you caught a short there? Nice. Still prefer the crosshair, I think. Oh, I suppose you get a crosshair too with the dot. All right. I'll run with the dot for a while. Right back down to VWAP. Plus we have this little order block down here. Looks like it wicked to that perfectly. That probably would not be a bad long right there. Maybe. Maybe we're going to get this rejection from the 4-hour order block and it's just taking its time. Here's the 15-second. Oh, yeah, there's entries on the 15. Beautiful entry on the 15 right here. Oh, man, that dot is still throwing me off. Okay, I can't do the dot. I got to do the crosshair. So we had the delta cross under the confirmation line, then the red zone tick down, which is right here. It's beautiful. Here's the 30-second. Still a little bit of an entry on the 30-second there. This one would have been, this is the delta squeeze way up here. This one, that lower high tick down under the falling delta. So you would have been in right there. That's nice. Those delta candles have a little bit more momentum to the downside on this move than they did on the prior move. They're a little thicker. Tired. All right. So we got the signal in the lower power zone. We could potentially get a tick up here. So if we do, is that a long? Is that the question? It would be in line with the overall direction of the 3. But I don't know. If we break that trend line, we could head down pretty hard. Oh, by the way, we just had a short on the 15 right here. That tick down right there after the Delta cross. That's a short on the 15. So it looks like we need the 5 and the 3 to catch up. I see JWAS has joined the dark side of trading on the 15 second. The dark side. I feel like I should probably join the dark side here pretty soon. All right, I just shorted this wick right there on the 1. I've been having better luck with the wicks lately, so giving that a shot. And it's saying nope. All right, I pulled it. So that was minus 9 points on that one. Well, looks like that was the same setup as the last one that threw me off. This one over here. We have the delta going under the confirmation line, but this is more in line with the overall direction of the 3. So is this one. And I went the opposite way. Like a dummy. Like I said, the 3's bullish, the 5's bullish. The 15, though, the 15 is still bearish. But had I just taken the power zone tick up at 932, I would have been in right here. So I'm clearly on the wrong side of things today. I'll be right back. What did I miss? Wow. Well, there's a candle. Looks like I was just a little too early on that. That would have been a good move. So, was there some kind of news right there? What happened? 9:39 a.m. What I do know is it tapped right into this order block right here. We're at the top of the wedge line on NQ on the 4-hour chart. That reaction down was a touch of it. On the 4-hour chart, I don't know if I'm seeing the wedge that you're seeing. Where is the wedge? Maybe, are you talking about like this as a wedge? Of course, everything pops up when I try to draw that. Or are you talking about this? I don't see a touch of that. I'm not seeing it. Where's the wedge? Or are you referring to this as the wedge? This type of wedge? It's a slice of pizza. Anyway. Well, keep in mind, I said that we had that short on the 15, and on the if you're trying to play off that move, it can sometimes take a long time for that to actually get going on the lower time frames. But it does look like the 3 is getting closer to catching up to that. Right here, where's my circle? There it is. Right here, we put in a lower high on the signal with the falling delta. That's a short. It's right here. Kind of want to just jump in, but I know I'm a little late. I did just go short there. Even though I am late. targeting the low for my first TP. Yep. Why? I can't right now. I'll be in there in a minute, okay? All right, I got my stop at break even, and I'm actually going to try to push this one down and target. Hopefully it doesn't hit my break even. I'm going to try to target the London low on this one. It's at 706. Greer's talking about trade and moving away from trading with China. And it got my break even. Ay, ay, ay. Well, so much for that. Hey, looks like I would have got my 80 if I just stuck to the 80. I'll be right back. All right. Now he's talking about tourism. Excuse me. Seems like a very weird day today. So we got the 3-minute ticking up, but the delta is falling and it's under the confirmation line. On the 3-minute, it looks like we could be moving more towards a range. We got the 5-minute ticking up. That one looks a little more bullish. So there's kind of disagreement all across the board, which can lead to chop. We are getting a delta squeeze on the 1, though. There's that. That is a long on the 1. And it does coincide with the tick up on the 3. I'm going to go ahead and give that a shot. Since it is in line with the 3, but the 3 is kind of in, I don't know, 3 is kind of in rangy land. Sitting right here at the VWAP and the 50. Seems like it's kind of struggling a little bit here. I'm going to go ahead and move my stop to break even. Might be a little too early to do that, but since we're right there at the VWAP and it's struggling, better safe than sorry. All right, broke even on that one. Now it's going to go. Yeah, the market sucks today, man. Brian Hawkins. For Elliott wave counts, we're stuck in between two possibilities. Both are in a 1 to 2 count looking for a big move, but can be either up or down, making it choppy. Next move leg will be big. Yeah, I don't do too much with Elliott waves, but I know a lot of guys do. NDX cash for bulls is above 21,850. Below 29.50 is bear. 21,850. That's up here. And 29.50. You mean 21,950? No, 29.50. That's way down here. Did I read that right? That's way down here. All right, we're getting a tick down near the upper power zone. Delta's really weak. That would be a short on the 1 if it closes this way. The 3 looks like it could tick down here pretty soon, and then that, that delta on the 3 can continue to play out bearish. The 5 is the only bull that's left. Oh, NDX cash. Did we get that tick down? Yes, we did. We got a tick down there. We'll see what it does. We're back to VWAP, though. That was an up-close candle on that tick down. I went ahead and shorted right there at the VWAP. $21,781. And I had to pull it there, break even. We ticked up. It is just a chop fest. If we put in a lower high, I will go back short. All right, I just went short right there on that order block. We're flashing a tick down from the upper power zone. $799.50. That's where I'm in. I would prefer that the delta does not cross back above the confirmation line, but Looks like it's trying to. The bulls are trying to continue to take it up here. So if we get a tick down from the upper power zone, we'll have a little bearish divergence here. So I'm trying to hold out for that last lower high tick down. It's flashing. But the bulls might be too strong here. I don't know. All right, we did put in a lower high. So I'm still going to hold on to this. Looks like the 3-minute really kind of turned on a dime right there. The delta. That's kind of unfortunate for my current trade. It wasn't supposed to do that. Yeah, I think I might just have to pull this if this ticks up here. All right, I'm out. Looks like 11.5 on that one. Looks like I should have stayed in bed this morning. Yeah, Schroden, good point right here. That would have been a better entry for sure than where I was. Now, we will almost most definitely get some sort of reaction out of this one. I mean, with that significant move down, you think? Maybe? I don't know, but as long as we stay inside this giant mother bar, we're probably going to be chopping. Delta's starting to show some exhaustion now. Arida, what's the range for delta exhaustion and underperformance? What's the range? I'm not sure I know what you mean by that. Starting to put in our second lower high on the signal, and with a exhausted delta. Well, I wish I would have entered on this wick high instead of where I did. I would be sitting a lot better right now had I done that. Delta's starting to roll over on the 1. We have a tick down on the 3. But the 3 is of that confirmation line, so that's why the 3 is kind of in no man's land. The 5 is still bullish. On the 15, we are getting a tick up there, but we're still bearish on the 15. That could easily put in a lower high, and then we're going back down. Feels buoyant to you, Schroden? Not very heavy? I know, same here. At the moment. It feels like it has zero direction to me. I think I'm going to go back to trying to play wicks more, since I've been having better luck with that lately. At least if a wick play doesn't work out, it's usually a smaller loss. Yeah, and I think the wick plays actually work better in the chop. It's that exhausted delta for you with those lower high tick downs. After a loser, though, it's really hard to try to keep taking those psychologically. The thing that keeps throwing me off on all of these is that when we get the signal, it's like right after a delta cross. You know, like here we crossed down, so I didn't take that, but that was a nice move up. Here we crossed down. I didn't take this, but that was a nice move up. Here we crossed down. I didn't take that because of it. That was a nice move up. So all of these nice moves are happening after the cross, which is typically not the case during a normal day. And now we have a cross to the upside. Now watch, we get a nice move down. Ay, ay, ay. I just feel like I'm on the wrong side of things. However, if that's the case, and there really is no trend, we're not supposed to really pay that much of attention to those crosses anyways. Should play it more like a range day. With a range day, you should be trading power zone to power zone. However, if you're just looking at the one right now, and you are taking the confirmation line into account, any tick up from the green zone here would be a long under normal conditions. We are on top of VWAP. This could be a long play here, maybe up to this order block. It'd be about 80 ticks. If we even get a tick up here. If we're just looking at the deltas alone, we have a positive slope on the 5. We also have a positive slope on the 3. We also have a positive slope on the 15, believe it or not. So it would appear that the bulls are slightly stronger. All right, Jason. Good time to throw in the towel. We'll see you later. We are in that lower power zone here. So I'm still watching for a tick up from there. $3 back to bullish now that it's above the confirmation line, but that could change pretty soon if it comes back under. Bears are trying to push down below VWAP now. Back to the daily open. Delta's coming back under the confirmation line on the 1. Looks like I should have held on to that trade a little bit longer. That would have been a winner had I not pulled the plug there. I had enough room on my stop. I would have hit 80 ticks. But it was this higher low tick up right there that took me out of that one. Deltas are exhausted on the 5 and the 3 now. Maybe this is it. Maybe this is when we finally roll over. Starting to see some exhaustion on the 15 as well. Well, we got our power zone tick up there. If you're range playing, that could be a long. It's hard to know in these conditions. 3 is going bearish again. The 5 and the 15 are looking more bearish now too. We got that lower high on the 5. We're flashing a lower high on the 15. Just kind of grinding to the downside here. We got the signal flat along the bottom. Hi.
Hi.
How you doing?
Good, but Ellie was like sleeping and shaking her paws.
Oh yeah, she does that if she's like dreaming about something. Yeah, dogs dream.
What do you think she's dreaming of?
I don't know, but if you see her like moving her arms and stuff like that, she's
walking.
probably running around in her dreams. Yeah. Just a slow grind down. No great entry except for this lower high when we finally saw Delta exhaustion. After that loser, I was afraid to take that one, but that would have been a good winner. That reminds me, well, I once had dreams. What? I'll be right back. She needs me. All right. Yeah, Schroden. I don't know if it just seems this way, but I feel like I used to dream a lot more when I was a kid. Now that I'm older, I hardly ever have dreams, and it's probably because I hardly ever sleep now. Maybe I would dream more if I slept more. Well, are we going to bounce on this daily open? I kind of have a feeling we're just going to continue to grind down. That's my gut. My gut feeling's telling me that. Those kinds of dreams. You know, there's a little bit of a wick play right here too. We had this big candle down. We got the wick. It tapped into it just barely right there. That was probably a good short. The cumulative delta on the 1 says we're ranging though, so you might be better off just, you know, this is the second tick up from the lower power zone. That would probably be a decent long. It's right on the daily open, so you have a reason for taking it. All right, just tapped into that wick high again. I feel ya, but they say if you're remembering your dreams, maybe that's why I don't remember my dreams then. Because when I am sleeping, I think I'm like sleeping hard because I'm not getting any sleep. So I think I sleep hard, but for shorter periods. Turns out that second tick up from the power zone was a good long. So power zone to power zone in that case was the way to go. Let's see, if you took that lower high short when you saw delta exhaustion, and then you just held it until the second tick up from the lower power zone, or the touch of the tick up from the bottom of the indicator. So that would be this one. You can almost just flip right there. That would be right here. 32 points down. And so far, 80 points up. Yes. I didn't mean to say points. Not 80 points. 80 ticks. Oh, you got a scalp? 15 points. Well, that's positive. At least somebody's making a little money. Schroden, I kind of consider a scalp to be any trade that's, you know, a few minutes long, less than 20 minutes. I consider that a scalp. I look at it more as the length of time as opposed to the TP target, because you can hit some pretty big TP targets in a very short period of time. Break even for the day. Well, you're doing better than me. So that's good. Hey, on the 15, we did put in that lower high. On the 15, that is confirmed. The 5-minute still doesn't really agree. Yeah, Schroed and I tend to agree with that too. As long as I get my piece, I don't mind so much if it keeps running. Still waiting to get my piece for the day. Yeah, base hits. That's really, I think, where it's at. All the base hits add up, you know? All right, here comes that tick down from the red zone. Delta's really weak, negative on the 1. We're seeing delta exhaustion on the 1. The 3 is turning more bearish. So we got the 3 and the 15 that agree, but the 5 is still lagging behind. Well, maybe this move will kick it into gear. Went short on that. $21,772.90. We'll say 773. Freddie Mac meeting rates releasing soon. You know, I keep forgetting that This is an earnings week, and earnings weeks typically suck for day trading. It's usually really choppy. Really bad at keeping track of that. You don't know how many times I've told myself that if it's a big earnings week, just don't even trade. And I still trade. It's hard to put the mouse down. Oh, mortgage rates. All right, for this particular trade, I'm going for this low down here at 738. So again, I'm kind of deviating away from my 80 ticks. Going for a little bit of a bigger move here. But I need it to get back on my profitability track. Here we come. We're going to get it. 738, right? That'll be 35 points. If we can get it. I got my stop at break even now. Well, if I went with 80, I would have it by now. See if I regret pushing this one a little. All right, starting to see a little bit of a rejection off that daily open. Come on, Bears. Send it down for me, please. You gotta be kidding me. Well, looks like I regretted it. I should have stuck with the 80. Broke even. Just as we were talking about base hits, I decided to swing for a home run. We'll see if she sets up again. We got our signal back in the red zone. We do have the potential to put in a lower high here, and as long as the delta's still weak, I'll still jump in. The 5-minute looks like it's getting a little closer to catching up. And then maybe we'll get our big flush that we've been looking for. And you know what typically happens if it's been chopping all morning and then I decide to end the stream. Immediately after I end the stream, the market starts flying right around lunchtime. It's pretty much guaranteed. Looks like Bitcoin's still pushing down. Marcus, this week has been rough. Up 1,300 Tuesday, down 1,300 Wednesday, and down 150 so far today. Yeah, it's been a rough one. You know, the earnings weeks are always, they're always kind of rough. All right, waiting to see if we get a tick down here. Excuse me. If we do put in a lower high and the delta's weak, I'm going to take that short. We got a lower high flashing. We also got a little bit of a broadening formation in here, which is always kind of can be difficult to trade. But hey, we got a weak bearish 3-minute, bearish 15. The 1 is bearish. We're putting in a lower high. Delta's exhausted. Everything is kind of lining up to go short here. All right, I just took that short. $772.31 is my average. I'll say 25. All right. Can I get this one to 738? That's the question. Starting to put in a little tick up here. Might have to move to break even. Give it one more candle. Give it a second chance here. You know how many times I've done that where I'll pull the plug at break even because of a little tick like that, and then the very next candle dumps, which is It appears that's what's happening in this case. We're putting a second lower high in now. We're going to get my 738 one way or another down here. 34.25 points. Not too much to ask. I have this one doubled up, by the way. Instead of 4 contracts, I'm in 8 contracts. And I have 6 contracts set for a TP at 738. And then I'll have a runner to try to take it down here to London low if it wants to keep going. If we can get there. But it is still not playing very nice. It is nasty out there. Another tick up here. Delta's starting to turn positive, so I got to pull it. So I am out on that one. Looks like doubling up my contracts wasn't the best idea there. So that's 5.25 on that. So instead of 4 now, I have to put 8 there. 5.25. That makes this minus 168. It looked good. It had everything going for it. But maybe it wasn't done with this broadening formation. It needs to take out this high first. It's almost there. The broadening formation continues. It's funny how on the 15-second, that first high or low, the green triangle right there, that was the start of the move. Well, it's putting in a good move now. After all that. It's funny because some of the best moves happen right when I typically get stopped out of a trade that otherwise would have been a good setup. Like I don't regret this trade at all because everything was lined up. It was a good setup. It just didn't work. And it's funny how a lot of those where like the setup looks like it's golden. If I stop out, the price just, it's like it stops everybody out right there. It starts it flying. See how abrupt that delta change was? It was so weak right there, and two lower highs under a falling confirmation line. It looked good. Well, this is the nicest delta we've seen in a while. So maybe we are going to open up here over lunch. Get some better price action in there, hopefully.
They're putting in a lower high right on that broadening formation line. Kind of want to take that short when I see that. Delta is tapering a little. I'm going to give it a go. $21,797.50. This time I'm not going to change my take profit plan. I'm going to leave it at 80. Half off at 80. And another off at 125. Ooh, my stops to break even now. Hey, I got my 80. I did something right. So, and on this one, that's 4 contracts at 80. So that moves to 6. So now I got another 2 contracts here at 125 if I can get it. So close, but no cigar yet. Flashing a tick up from the green zone here. But instead of just exiting, I'm going to move my stop. Hopefully we drop here. Drop, drop, drop. There we go. Keep dropping. And it took me out. All right, so that was the other 4 contracts. Got me out at 9 3/4. So this moves to 66. All right, we're looking a little better now. Would have been nicer if I could have got my 125 on that one. All right, we got a falling delta. Looks like it's actually gaining a little bit of steam here, so I might re-enter on this. It's not in the red zone, but we got a short on the 3, we got a short on the 5, and we got a short on the 15. So it is in line with that. Would be nice if it was in the red zone. Starting to see a little delta exhaustion there with a flashing a high or low. So it might not be ready quite yet. You know, we're flashing a tick up over here on the 3-minute above a positive delta. Still just kind of chopping sideways. If we put in a lower high on the 3, maybe that'll fall in line. Got a lot of chop on the 15 still. Choppy across the board. All the chop on the 5 here now. Well, we'll see. Can we put in a lower high from the green zone? If we could do that, I might take that short. What? What do you need? Somebody needs me in 1 second, guys. All right, what's going on here? We got a High or low on the 1. Delta on the 1 actually looks like it's turning up. We are above the EMAs. We're above VWAP. Looks like this is actually a long here. I'm going to try a long here. I just jumped in. $7.94. We got the 3 that ticked up. It's positive there. We're ticking up on the 5. I know we're chopping, but this delta is turning up nicely on the 1. We got that high or low from the green zone. This might be a winner. Just doing 4 contracts on this one. Delta still turning up nicely. It's looking good. See what we look like on the 15 second. Kind of a choppy delta there, but delta does have a positive slope. Let's check out the 30. Doesn't really look so hot there. Looks better on the 1. The one we're turning up nicely. Delta's getting thicker. Be nice to see some decent movement come back in here. Yeah, way too choppy even on the 15-second. Yeah, the one actually looks pretty good. For the moment. Obviously in the chop that can change on a dime. Speaking of, because we have the signal in that upper power zone and the delta is pretty thin, I think I am going to move my stops to break even here just to be a little on the safe side. All right, my stops are at break even. Now she can rip. Oh my gosh, yes, that's part of the problem. A low ATR in the 20s, you can easily get chopped up when it's so low. It's like borderline tradable right now. What we need is for the market to just shoot right through this little order block right here. Just shoot through it and get on top. There we go. That's what I was hoping to see. A nice big breakthrough candle. All right, so right up here on that trend line, hopefully we get my 80. There we go. There's 2 contracts off. Can we get 125? Let's go, market. Let's go. There we go. Almost there. Almost there. We got the delta flat and pegged against the ceiling of the, I'm sorry, the signal flat and pegged against the ceiling of the indicator. It's indicative of a strong move, usually an impulsive move. Can we get 125? There we go. There's 125. My first 125 of the day. That changes the whole game. Now I just have a runner on and we're back to break even. What a comeback. All right. I'm going to pull this if we tick down here. First tick down, I'm pulling it just because we're on that order block right there. 2, 1, there's a tick down, I'm out. All right, so the last contract ended up getting 27 3/4. So this changes to one contract at 27.75. So this ends up being 93 3/4. This moves to 7. 93.75. Awesome. Awesome. Well, I saved the day from going red anyways. Jaywaz, do you think these little tiny trends make this, or trends like this, are algo? The way they move is suspicious to me. I don't know. That is a good question. Okay, John, just like the Patriots against the Falcons back in 2017, the comeback. Yeah, or that Vikings game recently. Was that last year? The biggest comeback ever? Was that this year? I think that was the biggest NFL comeback ever. When was that game? Vikings biggest comeback ever. Saturday, December 17th, 2022. That was last year. No. What? Was that 2 years ago? I don't know where all the time is going. But they were down by 33 points, and they came back to win it 39-36. So, I mean, this comeback wasn't that big, but I'm happy with it. Marcus Knight says it's all algo. You guys notice how if we chop in the morning, it always seems to open back up in the afternoon, like over lunch? And things start getting, it's like right when people are ready to start, once they've reached their breaking point and they're ready to throw in the towel, that's when things open up. That's when I get off the stream. JWaz says that's more reliable than anything. As soon as I end the stream, then things start flying. Schroden, I know what you mean. Schroden says when I have a hard time trading PAs is when it's super pumpy, blasting through levels. So then on a pullback, I assume the strength will pick up, but then it drops through the levels the other way. Yeah. I know what you mean. That's the thing, like with those impulsive moves, they're usually not sustained. I like the impulsive moves because once there's movement in the market, you can usually make money both ways. I like the impulsive moves. I do not like grindy sustained trends. I have a hard time with those. That's my worst market condition of all the market conditions, I think. I even prefer chop over that most days. Anyway, I'm going to let my dog in. What's up? Hmm. Well, it is 12 o'clock noon. I feel like the trading gods have given me a second chance at the day now. Kind of hate to go red from here, so I think I'm just going to be happy going green and call it a day. And tomorrow will be another day. So good luck to you guys. I'm going to call it here, and we'll see you tomorrow. All right, take care.
I said certified trend, watch that V-bot stick. Trade so clean, got my profits real thick.
Yeah, I use that VWI, volume weighted, that's the map. Hit my levels, never cap, big green candles, watch them stack. I'm in the zone, got my setup tight. VWL bouncing, entry right. Big lot size, no scalper life. Trend is strong, I hold all night. Market open, watch the tape, liquidity gon' set my fate. If it holds, I let it ride. If it breaks, I cut with pride. Midday chop, I step aside. Wait for trend and I decide. We drove by magnet, price aligns. Catch that dip, now watch it climb. Yeah, I use that view get volume weighted, that's the map. Trend confirm, I let it clap. Catch that move, no looking back. The mode is shift, I see it clean. Delta rising, bulls and steam. Volume high, trend is mean. New day high, that's routine. Market's wild, stay composed. Vibe, bounce, I double dose. Risk is tight, reward is vast. Let it run, no exit fast. Pre-market plan already set. If it's weak, then short's the bet. Buy is strong, but I'll adapt. Trade what's real, don't get trapped. No emotions, risk defined. Vobo telling me it's time. Big green candles, money stacked. Trade that volume, never lack. Market open, watch the tape. Liquidity gon' set my fate. If it holds, it gon' set my fate. If it holds, I'll let it ride. If it breaks, I cut with pride. Midday chop, I step aside. Wait for trend, then I decide. Market open, watch the tape. Liquidity gon' set my fate. If it holds, I'll let it ride. If it breaks, I cut with pride. Midday chop, I step aside. Wait for trend, then I decide. Wide day chop, I step with pride. Midday chop with pride. Midday chop, I step aside. Wait for trend, then I decide. Vibe by magnet, price aligns. Catch that dip, now watch it climb. No emotions, risk defined. Vobo telling me it's time. Big green candles, money stacked. Trade that volume, never lack. Never lack. Whoa, 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 whoa. Yeah, yeah. Look back, momentum shift, I see it clean. Delta rising, bulls and steam. Volume high, trend is mean. New day high, that's routine. Market's wild, stay composed. Vow bounce, I double dose. Risk is tight, reward is vast. Let it run, no exit fast. Pre-market plan already set. If it's weak, then short's the bet. Buy it strong, but I'll adapt. Trade what's real, don't get trapped. Vibes keeps me sane. Baseline price, it runs the game. Overextended, I refrain. Wait for retest, then I claim. No emotion, hits get fine. Baseline price, it runs the game. Overextended, I refrain. Wait for retest, then